What's up, everybody? We back with another episode of Cree Education.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host, Steph Weezy.
I'm your boy, Day.
You know they call me El Plaga, but you know how it go. We don't need to talk about that.
Let's get straight into
Let's
it.
get it.
Today, the topic is deals, man. We talking about deals, closing deals, getting it done, and we're gonna let you lead the way with this one because you the master at it.
Well, no, I just want to have a discussion today because you guys are doing your thing too now. Don't sell yourself short. When people think about deals, they often get into this paradigm or this mindset that they have to wear a suit or they have to be at this big conference table. A bunch of people are pointing at a screen.
Office building.
Yeah, something downtown type of bullshit. And at the end of the day, a deal is anything that helps you gain at least one more dollar than you had before.
Right.
So we are transactionally closing deals every single day. And I think it's important that we emphasize the nuances and the subtlety of how you interact with each other. I think that's more important. And so I mean, when you started to do Day-Day's products, what did that look like? Because before I get into the elements of the deal, I want to make sure that we all understand that the deals happen on a regular basis. So how did Day-Day's come to life from a deal perspective?
So the first deal Day-Day's got a part of was me being Day-Day. I walked into a beauty supply store and went to their section of hair products, the oils and the soaps and stuff. Seeing that there wasn't much of what I could offer, I walked in there. I said, "Who owns this?" No, I'm like, not this product. Who owns this place? I was like, when could I get a meeting with them? They're like, well, why? What do you want to do? I flashed them the product, say, hey, I got something I want to talk to them about that you guys don't offer. And she goes, okay. Next day, I get a meeting with them, come in, show the products, tell them about them. You know how, Waves butter is different than Wave grease. And, I get my spiel. And then, boom, deal was closed. He was like, let's do it. I was surprised as hell.
Yeah.
What did it feel like?
Man, I walked in there with a couple words. I walked out with a check. I said, oh, shit.
Wow, that's dope.
I love that.
A lot of people.
I said, Day-Day's in his first store. Ain't that something?
Right, and that's huge though. A lot of people like put up blocks in their head before they even approach something like that. Just to have that, just to go and do that alone.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Is a stepping stone. Let alone the product alone. That's tough too. Getting all that done.
For sure.
Did you just happen to be at that spot, or did you feel like you were on a mission that day and you set out to close some deals? Like what did that process look like?
Well, I wanted to have a few different places I started at. I didn't even know where to start. So I said, well, where do you want your products at? I'm talking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'd love to. Yeah, right. A little couple combos to myself, you know what I mean? I asked myself said, no.
You had an executive meeting with you.
So I'm like, well, where do we want the products to be placed? And I'm thinking, I'd love for them to start in beauty supply stores or hair barber shops or essential oil places or what anywhere. I'm like, I go anywhere, but how do they know about me? Nobody knows about a product I just created unless I walk in there, make sure I got a cut, make sure their eyes go gling right to the waves.
Yeah.
Come on, flash up. Mm-hmm. There you go. And so it's automatically an attention grabber. You know what I mean? Really. So as I'm talking to someone, they're looking like, oh man, your hair is really nice. Oh yeah, I got some hair products. You know what I mean? So now it's attention and I can capitalize off of that being as though it's something I already have. But when I walked in there, they were telling me like, he's asking me about how many places I'm in and being is like, I was like, oh, this is my first conversation.
Right.
Yeah, we just kind of got going and, I didn't want to sound like a rookie, even though I was a rookie.
Yeah.
I was, I'm about a sophomore level, third, junior right now, you know what I'm saying? But no, but it was an, I don't know, it was super eye-opening to figure out like, most people stop themselves from doing so much because all it took me was to walk in there and have a conversation with this man. And granted, I knew how to speak, but it was just the chance I took on having a conversation that led to a deal being closed.
Absolutely.
And you like sold yourself.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
Sense, going in there. Look at you modeling your own product.
Come on now.
That's good too.
Come on now.
Like, hey man, look at the hair.
Yeah.
What you use? Oh man, don't even worry. I got you. Use my own product.
I got my
Day-Day's
shit.
product.
Come on now.
That's what's up.
Did you sing Soul Glow to him?
No,
Yeah,
not
you
yet.
can sing too. We know about that.
Yeah, we'll hit y'all with a couple episodes later
Yeah.
on.
How'd you get into
that's a whole
singing?
different one. That's a whole different one, right?
That's a whole different one.
Well, what I want to share with y'all is that there's another element to this, and you actually embodied some of it without even realizing it. There's a kind of a mantra or a rule, and it's not written. It's just something that you know, and it's called whoever talks first loses. See, yeah, he knows that. He knows that. And
I learned that from OG.
you know, somebody. I don't know who that is. I ain't worried about that. But what that means is that whenever you are in a situation where there's an offer or something you're offering, don't get too what I like to call salesy, where you're just running at your mouth and you're just talking too much, or you're getting too much into the element of the products and who made it, how it made. Yeah, if they ask you a question specifically about these things, give them a very basic explanation, right? But nothing too crazy. Whoever talks first loses really means this. I'm sitting across from you right now, Weez, and we're having an in-depth conversation about an opportunity. Could be product, it could be whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. I am simply going to find a way to encapsulate what I'm trying to say to you in a very succinct way. It's going to make clear sense. And then I'm going to physically posture by sliding you a proposal or presenting a proposal verbally. Once I've done that, shut the fuck up. I'm going to repeat that. Make the proposal, slide it to them if it's on paper, literally have it there in front of them, make a gesture that lets them know that they need to respond. And then simply, I know so many of you are going to be tempted, but remember this one thing: just shut the fuck up.
The fuck.
And here's the reason why it works. The reason why it works, you're going to learn something from the opposite end. They're either going to tell you an objection that they have about the proposal that you just made, or they're going to need further clarity. Yep. Either way, you leave it open-ended. If you talk first, you lose. How you lose is when you talk, sometimes you make the price lower than what it would have been had you shut the fuck up. Sometimes you make it where that person loses their train of thought, where they were really on a vibe with you, and you may say something that turns them off. And all you had to do was shut the fuck up. That's right. That's right, audience. Just remember that. That's why we're emphasizing that today. When you do that, you will see a phenomenon happen that is so, it's only experiential. You can't really define it. And there was one time I had a deal where I literally sat in a room with somebody for 6 minutes of complete silence, staring at each other. Because that was an OG that knew that fucking rule too.
Damn. Staring contest.
Damn.
It was. How did it end? He said, well, I have some place to be. And I said, well, then you should make a decision, shouldn't you? And he said, all right, let's just get it going. Let's go. See, he already knew, but he wanted me to mess up. So I didn't mess up. I shut the fuck up.
Very clear.
That's good.
Very clear.
Yeah, that's
Beyond clear.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are some instances where you feel like you didn't apply the rule of whoever talks first loses, where you might have had an experience? If you had something like that happen, Weez or Day, take it from there.
Yeah, I've had that happen. You was talking about lowering the price. I definitely have had that happen, being as though I talked myself into a lower price than what someone would have gave me, being as though I'm trying to oversell the product or trying to force it onto someone that's like, man, I ain't got $17. I got like 8 on me. I'm like, give me the 10, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, if I do that 20 times, I done shorted myself $20, $100. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm losing money off trying to help them promote my product, but I'm pushing it and losing the value of what it's really worth because I'm thirsty. You know what I'm saying? I'm thirsty to get it to them. Like, I've definitely seen that.
Yeah, I had instances like that too. Like when, for example, you know, I do social media and I do paid promo. So whenever someone wants to post a post, whatever they're trying to promote on my page, you know, because I have so many followers, and prior to me actually making good money, I would just settle for anything. Like, you know, what you got? Like, jump on the first thing. I'm saying $25 when this person would have gave me, you know, 250, 500. And there's been several times that happened. And my number was so low. He's like, hey, run 4 posts for me then, you know, like instantly. But now that I'm getting money, I'm set on my price. Like, I think it's like, I'm like, you know, I'll take 500, you know, and then I'll leave it at that. And then if you want to negotiate, you know, I'll add something else in, but I'm firm on my prices now. But prior, I would jump on anything. I would talk too much. I would over-explain how many views I get, why it makes sense for them to do it. So now I'm wasting all this time in the feed negotiating. This is when I was broke though, so it was like, man, I'll take what you got. You know, it got to a point when that, and I was like, dang, I'm over talking. And then that same thing applied to when professional people hit me up. They hit me up with the whole thing, like, hey, we have this post, and we'll give you, like, we have 3 posts paid. What are your prices? And I hit them with something so low, it's like, your value, like, what are you? And then I'm hearing they're giving out 1,500 minimum.
Yeah, you had that poverty fear.
Yeah, that poverty fear. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. Because I'm thinking small, like, dang, why you know, I'm jumping on small things, but I'm having this audience, and then I'm hearing that they're giving away 1,500 with no problem, but I just gave them my price so low.
See, the phenomenon of poverty fear is when you sell yourself short because you're afraid that you're not going to get the option that you're truly worth.
Yeah, that should be a shirt.
That's it.
Hey man, let's make a shirt. Poverty fear.
Come on now.
Straight up, bro. That's a real
Poverty fear?
Poverty fear, bro.
Yeah. You done told the people that, so they might steal that shit tomorrow.
Yeah, it's over with now, unless we hold this episode off about a month or something, and, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of poverty hoes out here. They gonna take.
Why the engineer got the shirt on tomorrow, up and running with it. Okay.
We come back. Hey, look how you get that shirt.
Oh yeah, I've been on this, man. I've been on it. I'm surprised y'all said that. I should have brought it up.
That's for real. He said I'm taking notes 100%.
Yeah, that's
poverty hole, poverty fear. He's got a whole poverty line.
Poverty, man. That's exactly what I had. Straight poverty, and just talking too much and just overdoing it for the low ball, like overly explaining myself. This is why it makes sense to give me that $100. You can go over to him, Kevin Hart. He won $1 million. I've been doing my research. Cat Gasnet. I only want 100.
And people do that all the time, though, right? Like it's kind of that thing, and it always comes down to the other aspects and topics we talk about insecurity, and mainly in our community too. We see so much of a gaslighting because we're insecure about what we really are about and what we really believe in, or the real talent that we like to show, or anything that we want to exhibit. We kind of try and hide it, so we feel like we have to overcompensate it. Yeah, and then we end up talking too much.
Oh gosh. Speaking of overcompensation, I was having a conversation with someone today who is a part of the lacrosse world. And I was talking to her about racism in sports, right? And one of her players, she's a former athlete, played on the Olympic team, blase, has her resume. Now she's a coach for a high school or something like that, alternative school. And one of their kids was called a nigga during a game, right? Game ends, he goes to tell the coach or someone, and they are telling them that they should suspend them from going to any more tournaments, and that something should be done about this word, and that now it's. But I'm like, now it has a reverse effect, because now not only are the kids screwed because now they no longer can play because this kid just in the art of competition. Maybe he is a racist kid, or maybe he just said, hey, let me call this little dude a nigga so he can stop scoring the ball.
Getting his head game.
Yeah. So, and it was worked. And so now the success from that, I'm like, it just kind of.
He wasn't able to seal the deal now.
At all. But now the effect of the kid telling the teachers or the coaches has now affected them to now their season is about to end because their program will no longer want to be a part of any other games where kids could possibly be called a nigga.
Yeah, it had a snowball effect. That small action had a snowball effect. Yeah.
You can't stop that though.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all about how do we go out into society every day with our armor on. And sometimes we forget pieces of that armor thinking, oh, I'll be all right. Yesterday I didn't need a helmet, so I won't need a helmet today. Mm-hmm. And that's the one day you get hit in the fucking head. Mm-hmm. You know, it's that type of mentality that makes it difficult for our people in this society to close deals too, because we're too busy trying to pacify insecurities.
That was it. And I'm like, have a little bit of tougher. You got to be tougher than that.
Come on,
man. In the art of competition, at least if we're at school or at the bar, something, and somebody, hey, you fucking nigga. Okay, now we got a whole nother level of problems.
Yeah.
Now, if we're in the art of competition, you still have to remember it's the art of competition. If I can kick you in the knee where your knee hurts, now you can't hoop. That's great. I won. It's the same thing as getting into someone's head, speaking whatever you need to speak to make them get off their cue.
Kyrie did that with dude the other night, not the other night, but a few weeks ago. You remember that? He was about to fight someone. Like, don't call me a nigga, man.
Oh, wow.
You don't remember that?
Nice.
Yeah, it was. Check that out. Yeah, Kyrie. You know, Kyrie been on his
super
mode.
Spiritual wave.
Yeah,
and all
and
that.
he went off on him.
Man, did anybody get paid from that?
Don't sound like it.
Oh man, I'm gonna say, if you got paid, you can call me a nigga right now. Let's close that deal today.
Yeah, it was interesting, man.
That's deep. There's so much going on in society where, you know, we're allowing ourselves to really get caught up where we don't need to be, and this layer of kind of like that false sense of accomplishment, because now you can go on social media and post about anything and not really be about that, but you start to get this false accolades for it because people are just looking to gratify anybody for anything because they're just passing their day scrolling through.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, right.
you know, this is like false release of serotonin. Like when we were talking about that, like that's the hormone that makes you feel better when you're really accomplished. But we're getting these little dopamine hits that are not true serotonin, and that's what leaves people empty.
Quick ones.
So quick ones, and you're not really sealing any deal. So that lack of accomplishment leads into a spiral of different aspects of depression. Yeah, I didn't mean to take it psychological, but this
where it
stuff
goes.
is real.
This is where it goes. I mean, just speaking about an NBA player, I've seen DeMar DeRozan came out and said that how he's been still battling depression, even though he's so successful. You know, what I mean? He's this NBA star, $100 million guy, and he's openly now talking about he's fighting depression.
Yeah, because success isn't always about what's in your bank account. And it's not always about what, you know, the things that you have. It really truly is a state of mind.
Yep.
And in order to be able to get out here and close any deal, to come up in any type of way, you ultimately, we're saying you have to have the right state of mind.
Right.
What are some of the things that you guys do, you know, to try and keep your mind, your mental in check so that you can have the confidence in what it takes to, you know, do a podcast or close another deal or, you know, acquire a property? What does that look like?
I learned, like, my thing is like experience, and I know I always talk about my basketball experience. Like I forget the last shot, you know what I'm saying? I believe. So what I try to do is like believe that this is going to work out. And that's when I'm at my highest state and I'm at my best. I have faith, you know, I believe in that I'm going to hit this next shot. So I erase the misses because I know I can hit the shot. I practice this several times. So, you know, with preparation, you know, good preparation, you know, you get the results. So I've seen this happen so many times. So whether it be, you know, and that's why it's like going into the unknown is always is scary because you've never been there, you know. So say you're the best basketball player, you got to kill a confidence, and then you go into somewhere else that you've never been. And it sort of shocks you, like I'm supposed to be in the NBA, but now I'm at a desk job. You know what I mean? I never been in this world, so it's a little different for me. You know, It's just like, I don't know how to explain. It's just like the unknown. But for me, I try to just erase the misses. That's what I say, and I focus on, you know, getting this done. And I see a lot of people it can shut you down because a lot of people ain't even gonna take the shot. But when they do get shut down, whether it be going to holler at a girl or something, I see a lot of people just shut down. They're scared to go holler at the next girl because that one didn't work. When I'm like, all right, I'll go talk to this. That didn't work. All right, I know someone's gonna want me. You know what I mean? You end up getting something better. I know I'm bouncing around, but you know.
No, it's all the same
No.
concept. I mean, it all makes the most sense.
You're better when you're shooting your shot
Yeah.
versus not.
Plus, you miss 100% of the shots you don't shoot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I feel like that line alone is something that people live by. They
Yeah.
don't shoot the shot because they're afraid to miss.
And I'm gonna be more upset at myself. It's the mentality. I'm gonna be more upset at myself if I don't take the shot.
Then if I
'Cause I
miss
was
it,
like, I could have.
You could, yeah.
I could have been the one that hit that, and you know.
Don't those things haunt you?
Yeah.
It haunts you after the fact, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever played a game or had something go down? I remember this when I was playing sports. You play a game, and don't you replay so many of those plays
Yeah.
over and over again in your head where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I should have did that. Especially the games you lose.
Yep.
Or if it's a knuckle biter and it's
free
close.
throw. You lose by 2 points or 1 point, you miss 2 free throws. Oh, you like,
Yeah.
that's the game right there.
And what it comes down to is like when you're by yourself, this is who you're with, and you talk to yourself like, I knew I could have took that shot. I knew I should have took that shot, and I know I bitched up and didn't take that shot.
Come on.
And then that's what you sit with. That's more regret than anything. And I remember feeling them feelings because I did that a lot. I went in my shell a lot, and I didn't like that. And then I started gunning.
See?
Start taking them risks, start taking them chances, and even like
That-
with
that-
my life now, like
yeah.
I gambled with this entrepreneurship that I'm doing. Like I took a big risk. Everybody's in my ear. My girl at the time, my grandpa, everybody. You need to get a job. You need to get it. I'm not comfortable there. I'm not happy. I tried it. I sat around and I seen the faces of people in the break room. They didn't want to be there. I didn't want this to be my life. I'm
Right.
gambling on these videos I'm doing. Do I know where it's gonna take me? No, I'm doing it though. And looking now, like it's now the fruits are falling from the tree. You know,
sure.
That's what's
it's
up.
coming, and that was a risk I had to take. You know.
That brings me to another rule, gentlemen. One of the rules in the game, and I said it to y'all before in different settings where we had our mentoring sessions, procrastination equals chaos. Okay?
Yeah.
So think about that for a second. So basically anything that you keep prolonging, all you're doing is adding a compound effect for it to come back and get you in the end.
Negatively compounded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Putting things off does not help you get things off.
Right.
You have to really persevere. And so when you guys hear procrastination equaling chaos, I mean, do y'all have those examples too? What we got?
Oh, God.
I'm gonna go back to basketball. Procrastination. I get the ball. If I'm thinking too much, should I shoot? Should I pass? Should I what? Get that thing off. You can't think. I'm pulling it. You know what I'm saying? And I overthink. I'll miss it terribly. I'll do a wrong pass or anything.
Turn it over.
I always, I like to correlate
definitely-
stuff to basketball.
I definitely
That's
got
one of
one.
mine.
I got one for sure. That's a little more business focused. Speaking of Day Days, I had an opportunity for some distribution conversations for some big talks, and they were asking me about my numbers. And
Oh, I know where you're
projections.
going.
Man, dog, man, bro, I was so damn lost, bro. I'm
Yeah.
like, I guess it's numbers that I should have known to keep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I'll do it whenever it gets big enough. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't really, 2, 5, 6 stores. Like that ain't much now. I'm like, no, we want to see all your how many units are you doing? What's your weekly? I'm like,
They want it broken down.
Yeah. I don't watch Shark Tank enough to know that I ain't playing around with no product in front of nobody.
oh my goodness. And it came out of nowhere, but it was like, as someone once tells me, if you stay right, you ain't got to worry about taking time to get right. You know what I'm saying? So that was a moment that taught me a valuable lesson. You know what I'm saying?
Did they ask you for your profit and loss statement?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So it becomes harder to close the deal without the elements of the deal being present.
Yep.
So that's what procrastination equals chaos means. Had you just taken the little steps every day to just put in on that, to make this big outcome come out, this spreadsheet
Yeah.
that tells people exactly who you are and what you've been doing for the last year, 2 years, whatever, then people would be like, oh, all right, you're solid. Let's look at this. Let's go. Or, oh, here's some opportunity to improve
Yeah.
and build you because you have a solid product.
Yeah.
But when you don't have a picture to show, they're going to tell you where to go.
Oh yeah, and it ain't gonna be anywhere close. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Come back when you got it together.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
Yeah.
And
And that-
thankfully, I was able to scrape up a few things and make some things happen with a P&L statement. You know what I'm saying? But
Amen.
boy, it was rough.
But
on your boy.
that I know that alone, just like whenever you're put on the spot on something and you don't have the answers. Prime example, with the mentoring, we got hit with a pop quiz. That thing shook me up. I felt like, embarrassed. I didn't know the answer. So what did I do? I went back to the notes. I'm studying like crazy that whole night, but it was a wake up call. And
Yeah.
it made me understand. But that's a lesson though,
Oh yeah,
like
it won't happen
moving
again.
forward, it ain't gonna happen
Promise
again.
you
You're
that.
gonna have all of this stuff, especially when you go to present it to somebody
Absolutely.
professionally or whatever. You want to have them numbers, even if they don't ask you. You want to know this stuff
For
about
sure.
your business, the ins and outs, everything. You want to be able to tell them. I learned that from Shark Tank too. I watched a lot of Shark Tank.
You
and I
watch a
seen
lot of
them-
television.
Yeah, I seen that. That show is like, yeah,
It's super informative though, because it gives you
I see what they're asking.
it gives you a visual of what they're actually like, what to actually look for, like what. Because how would you know?
Yeah.
Unless you're in those settings. I mean, nobody ever knows what a boardroom looks like until they see a boardroom. You know what I mean? And figure out conversations ain't what they think it is until they're amongst those conversations.
Or even a valuation statement. The fact that when they say, I'm looking for an investment of $100,000 for a 10% stake in equity in the company. Most people don't realize you just told them your company's worth $1 million today. Most people don't realize that. And it's those little things that you got to be ready to do. I love that you brought up the example of the pop quiz. We did I call it a nigga quiz, but we did a business quiz of all the things that we learned, and it was to basically prepare my brothers for what's going to come in life. You're never prepared for those pop quizzes in life that lead to opportunity and prosperity. Somebody's going to see you in an elevator. That's where the whole saying elevator pitch came up. Right. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm standing next to the CEO of that big corporation right now.
It's the only opportunity I ever get to talk to him.
Right. And right now I'm from the mail room. I got this cart full of mail. Well, here's my pitch. What is your 30-second pitch? Because when you hit the 17th floor, he's finna get off.
Sure.
And that's that your shot's gone.
Yep.
And procrastination equals chaos if you ain't ready for it and you prolong not being ready for it.
Questioning yourself
And as soon as you make that offer, shut the fuck up. Right? See how it's all coming together full circle? And what we're doing with this thing about closing deals?
Mm-hmm.
You're closing deals every day. I closed my deal when I got married.
Absolutely.
I closed it years before we were married. Because she literally told me to get the fuck away from her. But had I not persevered, we wouldn't have our beautiful children and the work towards a little mini legacy and an empire and things. And all these things matter. Sometimes we think of deals in the form of a business sense, but it's just leveling up in life. Mm-hmm. You have these opportunities that come in many ways and in many shades and all the opportunities. You just need to be ready. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
That's a fact.
Right? Now, that's
that's
some
good.
stuff you say all
I like
the time.
that.
That's a fact.
Come on now. I learn from y'all too now. It ain't just about learning from me, And with that being said, I know that we got to shout out these things. Speaking of closing deals, I want to close y'all right now. Get out there and check out Day Day's products. Make sure we on that, right? What's your handles? What do you say, brother?
On Instagram is daydays_products or daydays.products. On the website is daydays.com. Facebook is Daydays, just Daydays on Facebook.
Oh, that's good. Now shut the fuck up.
Got to go in. Mine's simple, man. At Steph Weezy, at STEFF1_WEEZY. Check my bio. Everything's connected. Everything's Steph Weezy, man. Y'all follow me, get the merch. Bio.
And make sure you go out there and check out what we got for the ladies in luxury. It's LUXHURY.com. That's luxury. And don't forget about that Let's Eat menu that we got for these classes, because we teach you exactly what we do. And since you know what we do, you know how we do. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. We out.